Welcome back to Foot in Mouth. The Premier League is in full swing after the opening set of fixtures this weekend, and it had a bit of everything, really. We had red cards, we had VAR drama, we had big performances, we had big wins, and those big wins don't get much bigger than Arsenal's win at Old Trafford. It's only the sixth time that Arsenal have pulled off a win at Old Trafford, only the third time in the Premier League era. So, as far as big wins go, you can't stress enough how big this was for Arsenal. And I will be the first to admit, we didn't deserve it. It was definitely an unlucky day for United. They were the better team on the day, but something that's pretty much like gospel in Premier League football right now is that champions win games like this. You know, when you can win even when you aren't performing at your best, that's what champions do, and that's what Arsenal did. So I can't have too many complaints. I can have concerns. I've got plenty concerns after that performance, but as far as complaints go, none, brother. I'll take those 3 points and I'll run with them any day of the week. It was a proper smash and grab. We saw something like this last season as well. Arsenal versus Man United at the Emirates. Only reason Arsenal won was thanks to two corners. This time at Old Trafford, only reason we won is because of a corner and also because Man United do not have a class goalkeeper between the sticks, which they should do in all honesty, but it was Bayanda in goal today. It was the manager's choice. Onana's not injured, and it was Bayanda who basically sent Declan Rice's corner kick into the post, and Ricardo Calafiori was just there to make absolutely sure that it got put away. So either Calafiori saved Bayanda from an own goal or he stole Declan Rice's goal from a direct corner. Either way, I'm happy, man. This is a fixture I said in the preview episode that gives Arsenal fans PTSD. And I was optimistic, though. I predicted a big win for Arsenal. I thought we were going to win this 3-1. I thought that we were going to be much more comfortable. But, dude, we were so switched off. Going forward, it was just like a guessing game of what we were going to do. The decision making was terrible. And thank goodness for our defense, because we definitely owe this win to them. They had a lot of work to do. Man United's new look front three doing good work, in my opinion. I think Mbumo looked absolutely dangerous whenever he was on the ball. And he got on the ball a lot. Always found himself in a nice amount of space too. Not ideal. Cunha as well. Jeez, that dude is a threat. So I think going forward, Man United are going to be good in the long run. But defensively, bro, you got to sort out that goalkeeping situation. I feel if Arsenal were switched on up front today, we could have definitely punished United a bit more. But on this day, I think, yeah, United can count themselves slightly lucky that it was only a 1-0, which is weird to say because they can also count themselves unlucky that they didn't get the win. But yeah, David Raya, man of the match in Arsenal's goal. He made 7 saves, some big saves. There should have been a debut goal in this game by all. When you consider the header that he saved from Mbumo, I think that was much tougher for David Raya to save than a few other people seem to think. But yeah, he worked his socks off. The whole Arsenal defense, there were some nervy moments there because United were constantly on the front foot. And Arsenal just couldn't get it right in the final third, bro. I like Zubamendi. I think as far as our debutants go, Zubamendi looked the best. Joker is anonymous, bro. But he also didn't get any service, though. So it seems a little bit harsh to be harsh on him. But when he did get service, he was pushed into positions that made him kind of ineffective. So hats off to the United defense for that. Not too much of a surprise when you consider that Ruben Amorim basically made Victor Gyökeres who he is. So he would have some tips and tricks for his defenders to handle him, and I think they worked. And Gyökeres looked like he was getting visibly frustrated before Arteta subbed him off for Kai Havertz, which I think once that happened, Arsenal had a little bit more comfort and control in the final, but still nowhere near as good as it needs to be. Our left side is dead as ever, bro. We started Martinelli that side. I like the guy. I've been one of his biggest defenders, one of his biggest backers. Every single game I see him play, I have less and less defense for him. I don't know what he needs to snap back to that player we saw 2-3 seasons ago, but it's not happening. And when Noni Madueke came on, it wasn't a very glamorous cameo either. He did pretty much just as much as Martinelli on the left. So that left side needs work, Arsenal. If I'm there in the boardroom, I'm doing everything I can to hijack this Eze transfer to Spurs, because I know Eze is not a left winger, but I'm also happy to bet good money on the idea that Eze could be a lot more effective on the left wing than either Martinelli or Madueke off of that one fixture. Obviously, Madueke is a right winger, so I'm not going to be too critical of him on the left. Also, it's the first game, so in general, I think criticism should be kept to a minimum unless you're a West Ham fan. But yeah, in this game, I think it's it showed a lot of what United are doing right, and it showed a lot about where Arsenal need to improve. And yeah, like I said, it's a smash and grab win, bro. As an Arsenal fan, I will take it. I can't ask for much more. Obviously, I would be desperate for some dream, beautiful football scenario where we just walked over Man United. But going to Old Trafford, it should never have been expected. I was a little bit ridiculous to expect a 3-1 win, but I did have more confidence in our attack. So I think, look, massive win for Arsenal. One of the toughest fixtures on their calendar year for a season. They get a win. And those 3 points come the end of the season, I think will be invaluable when you consider this is a ground, like I said, that we don't often get 3 points in. So I'm happy. On that note, I think there's a lot of work to be done. I think Zubimendi could have easily walked away with a Man of the Match award if Arsenal just did a little bit more with his hard work. The dude is just such a maestro in midfield, bro. He's passing, his eye for the pass, and yeah, he did some of his passes didn't work, but he's trying stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's something that not a lot of Arsenal players have done, especially last season. And Martin Odegaard, better performance from him, not the best, but better. He was always involved, always ready to take on the responsibility. Bukayo Saka, quiet game, very quiet game. Again, I said Gyökeres was pretty much played out of the game. But yeah, overall, I don't think there's too much for Arsenal fans to really stress about. As long as that defense looks shored up again, because in preseason, that defense didn't look like it did last season. But yeah, the defense won the game for us here, and I take those 3 points all day. Let me know who your man of the match was in this game, what you thought about how the game played out from a tactical perspective, players wise. Benjamin Sesko obviously came on to make a cameo as well, but he also, same like Gyökeres, didn't really get much service, much opportunity to shine, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm really impressed with Man United. I can't lie. I think if you sort out that goalkeeper situation, maybe get a few defensive additions in general, you probably have yourself a decent season. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought. The referee, by the way, very lenient. Very, very lenient in this one. Arsenal got 4 yellows on the day. United only got 1. I think United got away with a lot of warnings, much more so than Arsenal players did. I'm not going to get into any agendas here. But again, this game and this weekend in general was just that ugly reminder of what the PGMOL and VAR have in store for us. There was obviously a nervy penalty decision in the penalty box where Cunha went down from Saliba. I don't think that was a penalty at all. Not at all. I think Saliba just did... that was really good defending by Saliba. He made his presence felt, didn't do anything to impose on the player. Just made sure the player knew he was there. Cunha went down. Saliba was behind him. It looked messy in real time, but I think that the correct decision was at least given there. So let me know if you think that should have been a penalty. I don't think so. But yeah, overall, a decent game, very tame, and one that I'm happy that Arsenal won. Things did not look as comfortable for Liverpool as I expected them to look either. I thought Liverpool were going to win this one 3-1. I was talking all this nonsense about Bournemouth and their non-existent defense, and they very nearly left with at least a point. Bournemouth, Liverpool were leading 2-0, and they were looking good value for that lead. You know, Ekitike was having a hell of a game as usual. Florian Wirtz, not so much. But yeah, Bournemouth did not give in. They kept coming back. Antoine Semenyo, man of the match performance for me. He at least scored one of the goal of the month contenders, probably a goal of the season contender come the end of it, because when he ran the full length of the pitch to put it in the back of the net, I was losing my head like I was a Bournemouth fan, bro. I think this dude is such a good player. The fact that Bournemouth were able to tie him down to a new contract, that in itself could go down as a signing of the season, because that dude is a game changer for them. The fact that he can put in a performance like that against Liverpool, bro, nah, top class player, and I don't think that he's going to be at Bournemouth very long if he keeps up performances like this. But they've got him for this season, and it's going to be a big help, because Bournemouth aren't going to be playing against the Liverpool every week. And the only thing I think that lost them the game is the fact that Liverpool just have legs for days, bro. Bournemouth looked like they were going toe-to-toe till about the 80th minute. And from then on, if you're not winning against Liverpool by the 80th minute, you're done, bro. Because Liverpool can run for 90-plus minutes, and they'll be at 100% for all of them. So it's, credit to Bournemouth. They tried, but quality prevailed here, and Liverpool did eventually run out 4-2 winners. Mo Salah putting it to bed in the late stages of the game. Mo Salah, by the way, I think he had a quiet game because he was more side character than main character, but when you look at the game and you look at his contributions, he played such an important role in that win for Liverpool. So I think a goal for him was very, very much justified. Ekitike goal and assist on the day, so he's going to be happy with that debut. Overall, I think Liverpool fans can be happy because this is the first game of the season, and everybody knows that they do need work defensively. Kanate What was that, bro? That was not your best game in a Liverpool kit. And I think that Liverpool will be very, very fast to give Crystal Palace a call and bring Mark Guehi to the club ASAP before the transfer window shuts. But overall, you can't be too mad with a 4-2 win. I still think Liverpool look a little vulnerable. But hey, the champions start the season off with a win. Some more VAR controversy in this one because there was a handball from a Bournemouth player. What was his name? I can't get to his name now, but yeah, I think that he should have been sent off, if I'm being completely honest. Sensei or something his name is. I think he should have been sent off, to be fair, but at least it didn't cost Liverpool any points, didn't cost Liverpool the game. Bournemouth did get away with one, but I am happy that the player stayed on because it made for a much more exciting game. Liverpool fans, if you're watching this show, what did you make of the performance? Which players stood out for you for the right or wrong reasons? And do you think you are going to show up that defense before the window closes? Sunderland easily had the biggest result of the weekend when you consider that they beat West Ham 3-0. So as far as bad looks go, bro, you can't get much worse a look than West Ham in this fixture. I expected, but I said that this game is the most likely to bring an upset. That upset for me looked like a 1-0 Sunderland win, maybe a 2-1, never a 3-0. So huge for Sunderland. I think it just reinforces anybody's confidence in their ability to stay up this season. As far as West Ham are concerned, I think Graham Potter just shot way up to the top of managers most likely to get sacked first this season. So as much as I can forgive a lot of things that happened this weekend for saying, hey, first game of the season, that was very much unacceptable by West Ham. I don't think you can excuse it in any way, shape or form. A 3-0 loss to newly promoted Sunderland, regardless of how well Sunderland have been doing in the transfer window, that's a bad look, man. And West Ham are going to have a lot of work to do if they're going to fix up before the season gets away from them, in all honesty. I tipped Wolves to get relegated this season. I may need to change that to West Ham. But for now, I'll stick to Wolves because Wolves did obviously get a hiding of their own this weekend, at least by Man City and not newly promoted Sunderland. But yeah, huge win for Sunderland. I'm very, very happy for the club. And I am ever confident that they're going to stay safe this season, bro. If this result is anything to go off of, at least. Not so much luck for another newly promoted club in Burnley, where Spurs gave them a 3-0 thrashing. I predicted a 3-0 win for Spurs. I'm happy I was spot on with that. I'm unhappy that Spurs got a win. But yeah, is what it is. New boy, Mohamed Kudus did look good on the day. I think he got an assist as well. They didn't even need Solanke. Big money striker on the bench, made a cameo late on. Didn't need him because the game was done and dusted by the time he came on the pitch. Brendan Johnson, I'm still a big fan of. So I like that he got on the score sheet at least. But yeah, overall, big win for Spurs. Big win for Thomas Frank. It's a great way for him to start his tenure at Spurs. But obviously, I didn't watch much of the game. I cannot watch Spurs. So Spurs fans, if you're watching this, let me know. What did you make of your team? What did you make of the new signings? What did you make of the performance? And can you guys finish in the top 4 this season? Because I still doubt it. Chelsea, not so lucky on the day. I thought Chelsea were going to win against Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge. Maybe I gave Chelsea too much credit after their Club World Cup win. And this was a 0-0. They were quite lucky that it was just 0-0, to be honest, because Eze scored a great free kick that was ruled out by VAR for reasons that I am not qualified enough to understand, because I'm pretty sure I've seen free kicks like that given plenty times before in the past. But is what it is. Crystal Palace have to take a point, but it's a huge point for them. I think Eze and Guehi, I've mentioned before, they're both linked with moves away. It could be a perfect send-off for them. As far as tough fixtures go in a season, Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge, that's probably one of the toughest for them. So for them to escape with a point, very good for them. Could be a great send-off by Guehi and Eze, but I know that they'll still be hoping with every fibre of their being that they can hold on to at least one of them when the transfer window is closed. But yeah, not great for Chelsea, not the start that they needed, and not the performance Cole Palmer needed either, because now it's been since January, I think, since January, the last time that Cole Palmer scored a goal from open play in the Premier League. Now, he's obviously not going to be losing too much sleep over that, because in that time, he has taken a Conference League medal, and he's taken a Club World Cup medal, but that is terrible, bro. That is a terrible run of no goals. So Chelsea will definitely need him to fix up a little bit. I still think that they aren't anywhere close to being in a worrying situation. Yeah, it sucks that it was a 0-0. It sucks that it was 2 points dropped essentially. But when you consider how good a game Crystal Palace were playing, I think you kind of have to raise your hands and say, hey, maybe a draw was a fair result. But yeah, Chelsea fans, let me know what you guys made of that opening fixture. And can Cole Palmer turn things around soon? Let's bring it back to Wolves, who I mentioned earlier, losing to Man City in terrible fashion. They lost 4-0. I thought City were going to win this one 4-1. That one would have been a very very kind consolation that I was giving Wolves. They didn't even get that. And Man City looks so good, bro. And what's scary is that they've been linked to Donnarumma. So that's not fair. They clearly don't need him. They got James Trafford in goal, who I think had a really good game, clean sheet on his debut. But as far as new signings go and debuts go, Man City, I think, took the spoils here with Reinders. What a player, what a performance. And what a result for Man City. It's exactly what they needed, just to remind everybody who watches Premier League football that they are still very much big dogs. Last season was very much a one-off. That isn't going to happen again. And dude, 4-0 win away from home to open your Premier League season. You can't get much better than that, if we're being honest. Erling Haaland on the score sheet again. That guy will never stop scoring. And it makes complete sense that Man City tied him down to one of these Chelsea 10-year style contracts, because I think he's going to be a nightmare for everybody to deal with going forward. But yeah, Cherki got a goal in his debut as well. Aït-Nouri looked fantastic in that back line. Everything at Man City looks set. I said that Arsenal looked like one of the most put together. Manchester City by a mile are the most prepared for this season. So huge win for them. Big statement by them as well. Like I said, that reminder of we are back. So yeah, I think it could be a very, very big season for Man City. Elsewhere, we saw a bit of a boring draw, 0-0 between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Villa can count themselves lucky though, because they went down to 10 men. Had a red card here for Konsa. A very, very rash decision by him to pull down Anthony Gordon when he was one-on-one with the keeper, basically. I understand that he had to do it, but didn't help his team very much for the last half hour of the game, basically. And Aston Villa came away with the point, at least with 10 men. Newcastle looked decent, though, to be fair, must be said. Brighton drew 1-1 with Fulham, and Brentford got a hiding from Nottingham Forest. They lost 3-1. And I didn't expect that. I thought Brentford were going to get a win here. I thought they'd sneak a win. I thought it'd be tight. Did not expect it to be this comfortable for Forest. And Chris Wood, another man that has come back to remind everybody that last season was not a one-off. Getting a brace opening day of the new season. Nottingham Forest fans must be very happy with that. And Nottingham Forest are another club that I haven't given nearly enough respect to for the transfers, for the transfer business that they've been doing. They have been signing some good players. And between now and the end of the window, I think that they're only going to sign more. And they're going to get better. And I may have been a little bit quick to write them out for the season and give them, I predict them to finish outside of the top 10. But yeah, that may change, bro, because they also, without Thomas Frank, mind you, they look quite good. So solid start for them, perfect beginning for them, if we're being honest, because they did get a big win against a club that is going to be one of their main rivals for whatever place they are pushing for this season. So yeah, big win by them. And I'm recording this on a Monday, so I haven't seen the Leeds versus Everton game yet, but I am hoping that by the time this episode is out and that game has been played, I was right about my prediction with Everton winning 2-1. I am also hoping for a Jack Grealish debut and goal on his day, because I love the dude. I'm not going to talk more about how much I love Jack Grealish playing football. But yeah, that did it for the Premier League fixtures. Let me know what you guys made of those results and the performances. And let me know how you did in FPL, because I, for one, had a terrible week. I thought last season was going to be a one-off with the bad FPL, and it clearly isn't. I'm well below the average. All my players and my decision makings were as bad as Arsenal's in the Man United game. And I am already one game in a relegation battle. So yeah, that sucks. But let me know how you guys have done in the FPL. If you are in the league as well, let me know where you're currently sitting. Shout outs to everybody that has joined the league, and good luck to everybody this season. Because yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I think a lot of people are going to struggle with making decisions more often than not between managers rotating players and players just underperforming, and the unexpected ones being the ones putting in big performances. But yeah, it's all for the love of the game, man. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. If you did enjoy it, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll catch you in the next one.